And one of the things I wanted to show was a new law introduced in South Dakota against riot boosting. That's a new word I'd never heard before. It means people who promote, agitate, fund, organize riots. They call it riot boosting. So I typed into Google, as you can see here, riot boosting law South Dakota. It doesn't get more precise than that. But look at the results that came up. The very first one is a rebuttal to the law by the ACLU, then an environmental condemnation of it, then another condemnation, then the ACLU rebutting it again, and then again and again left-wing or environmental groups denouncing the bill. The very last item on the first page is a Washington Post story that's neutral, but in that first list of 10 results, you'd think I would have the riot boosting law South Dakota, but in fact I did not. I had to keep searching more and more and more and clicking through more and more and more anti-riot boosting commentary before I could get to the thing that was being criticized. You see what I'm saying? I wanted to see a document, an official document, so official it's on the government's own website. But Google would not let me get to that document, even though I described it perfectly, without first making me look at a dozen rebuttals, counterpoints, and denunciations. Had I grown bored or lost interest, I never would have got what I was searching for. Now, was that the fact that typing in riot boosting law South Dakota wasn't clear enough? Was there some reason that that was pushed down and the criticisms were pushed up? Well, I'll never know. But our next guest says that there are things afoot that we don't know that the U.S. Congress is trying to find out. I'm talking about our friend Allum Bokhari, the senior tech correspondent for Breitbart.com. Allum, great to see you again.
Good to see you, Ezra.
What do you think of my little anecdote? It's just a personal story, but I found it quite odd that I described a law in a state perfectly, and yet it did not show up in the first dozen or so hits, but criticisms did. I wanted to see it, it wouldn't let me.
That is interesting, and we know during the net neutrality debate, these tech companies were artificially promoting, well, it certainly looked that they were pushing pro net neutrality posts up their search results. Now, the idea of Google search engine manipulation has actually been alleged by Donald Trump. The mainstream media called it a conspiracy theory, of course, but it's actually been proven now because a couple of months ago, Breitbart released an exclusive story in which a hidden blacklist was found on within Google that allowed the company to manually adjust search results on YouTube. And in that same leak, a member of Google's trust and safety team admitted that they occasionally do the same thing for so-called controversial search results on Google's main search engine. So it's now been confirmed, thanks to these Google leaks, that Google manipulated search results on YouTube and on its main search engine. And they're doing so for political topics. On YouTube, they deliberately adjusted their search algorithm to kick pro-life videos out of the top 10 search results. We've now seen news from other sources that Google pushes conservative websites out of news search results. So this is all confirmed now. The Democrats, of course, will still call it a conspiracy theory because it's in their interest to do so, but the facts speak for themselves.
That's an excerpt from the Ezra Levant show. Every day I do a video monologue and then I interview an interesting guest and then I end by reading my hate mail. But you've got to subscribe to it, which you can do at therebel.media/shows.